So good evening, you beautiful people. It is just after 9 p.m. What is it? 3 minutes past 9 on Monday, the 12th of February. Nearly Valentine's Day. Love is in the air. I'm single again. Honest to God, like, it's just rubbish, isn't it? Basically, if you want to send me some Valentine's cards to just make me feel a little bit better about my life, that would be great. Just digital ones are fine. Just Ross at actsonthis.tv. That would be lovely. It's cheap though, isn't it? It's cheaper. Got no one to buy any Valentine's gifts for this year except myself. So I'm probably going to treat myself to a large latte, and it's pancake day tomorrow, isn't it? Pancakes. I'm all about it. Let me know if you're here live what your favourite pancake topping is. Anyway, we've got loads to talk about tonight. Lots and lots of stuff going down. I want to start off, first of all, just talking about Act On This. Obviously, that's what we're, mostly here for. Most people here who are tuning in are members of actsonthis.tv. If you are an actor and you like acting and you want to earn more money from your career, because let's face it, who doesn't? And you're not a member of Act On This, you are doing yourself a massive disservice. Get over right now to actonthis.tv. /live, actually. Go and check out the live schedule. I've put up the next 3 live calls that you get if you're a member of actonthis.tv. You basically get to sit down every week with me and, one of the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, writers, directors, and producers in TV, chewing the fat about how you can push your acting career forward way, way faster. All the inside info, basically, that you don't get anywhere else. So I just want to have a little recap on last week's session. We held our first Showreel surgery session of 2024. with Mr. Chris Stone, in my opinion, the best showreel producer in the UK. We played out 5 banging showreels from members of actsonthis.tv, all very, good in their own ways. All obviously, could be improved because let's face it, nothing is perfect. My own reel could be improved. I'm waiting for, a few things to come out on TV this year so I can put some new footage in my own showreel. Your showreel, as Chris always says, is never finished till you are dead. Without sounding morbid, we're all going to live very long lives, okay? We want at least another 100 edits out of our showreel before we leave this earth. So then we can at least leave a banging showreel behind. That can be our legacy. Go here, check it out. Look at what we did while we were here on this earth. But I want to play out, just a little mashup of that showreel surgery to begin with for what, just to show people what they missed if you weren't on it. Let us know if you were on it. If you're here live now, I'm just going to go over to the website just for people who might be new to this. You might be, what on earth are you talking about, Ross? What is Act On This? This is the website, actonthis.tv. All you regulars will see this every single week, so apologies, but I'm going to show people in case they've never seen this before. If you go over to actonthis.tv, click on preview features at the top, you can see the sort of stuff we do every single week. That's last week's showreel surgery with Chris Stone. Week before that, we had one of the best agents in the country on. Lizzie Fieldhouse from Hamilton Adele. They look after huge names, all the way up to people like, Tom Hiddleston, Emma Thompson, Joe Gilgan, Rupert Grint, massive A-listers. And then also lots of new talent as well, people who are brand new. And Lizzie was so open to hearing from people who are brand new, who haven't done anything, if they're amazing. So Lizzie was on the week before that. We had an Acts on This Answers session with me and Petch. The week before that, Dan Hubbard, one of the biggest casting directors in film and TV, was on the week before that. Just banging sessions. So go check out the previews there. If you want to get access instantly to the full, these are 2-hour calls, really, 2.5 hour calls. There's an archive with around 140 features in it right now in the back end of Acts On This in the members area with the biggest names in the industry. If you want an education that's worth 100 times any drama school, could give you for 0.0001% of what a drama school would cost you, get yourself a bloody membership. But I'm going to play out now, just a little trailer, a little mashup of some of the stuff that we covered on showreel surgery. And we've got our actors in the Acts On This community working on banging stuff as well. I keep saying banging tonight, don't I? Really good stuff. I mean, you'll see people like in this trailer, like Michelle Keegan opposite some members of Acts On This. Michelle, for the record, is not a member. Michelle, if you are watching, if you want a membership, just let me know. I'll give you a £1 trial. You can try it out. But here's a little bit of what you missed, if I can find it, if you weren't on that call this week. And let me know what your biggest takeaway was. I'm going to read the comments while this is playing out. In my opinion, he's the #1 showreel producer in the UK, Mr. Chris Stone, back for the first showreel surgery live session of 2024. Chris, good evening. How are you? Shall we watch a new reel that you've done, Chris?
Yes, we'll do watch a new scene.
I was once directing the nativity play, and the kids wouldn't stop pestering about why Father Christmas wasn't in it. I lost my rag and told them it was because he didn't exist.
A scene is basically a micro movie that gives you all these different options that you can take from. It's not, this is what we're going to talk about in a second, is a scene isn't your show reel.
So you guys are going to learn what makes a reel pop in terms of like what makes it stand out, what can let a reel down, and you'll also get to see what your competition, in a friendly way, is sending out to agents and casting directors as well.
Okay, I need to take a few details.
Yeah, sure. Do you mind if I ring her first, let her know where we are?
Sure.
If you can end with some sort of emotional thing, you're going to be remembered more. So if you end on a laugh, then yeah, great.
We love newly qualified teachers in this school, mainly because you're so cheap.
The teacher one is clearly the best, most engaging, and I don't think many people would actually get to that point, and that one has to come first.
Someone's drinking too much of a weekend, getting behind the wheel. We need to be stopped.
How I would edit it is use a little bit of the setup at the beginning, because it's great. You get this banter between the two, so you know they're old mates.
Theo doesn't drink, and they just looked at me like I was some foolish mother.
I've taken different sections of the conversation and merged them all together to make it flow as one.
What's the one thing every actor should know about Showreel for 2024?
There is a difference between a scene, which is basically a short film, and your show reel. Completely two different entities. One scene is enough to start with. You know, doing your show reel is a forever game. You're going to be building on it for the rest of your life.
Boom! So if you want to access the full 2-hour session, you'll see, honestly, the quality of the reels every time we do one of these showreel surgeries is just fantastic. We've been doing showreel surgery for about, I tried to think now, probably about 8 years. Honestly, me and Chris once did a day where we went, you know what, we're going to live stream, like I'm live streaming now on Facebook and X, formerly Twitter. When it was Twitter, we decided we were going to do an 8-hour stream where we literally just played out every single reel people submitted, because I get it, on Showreel Surgery, we play out 5 reels, and there's around anywhere at any one time between 900 and 1,000 members of actonthis.tv. So people, you know, when they're submitting their reel, I can often have 6, sometimes honestly 600-700 submissions of showreels, and then we have to let Google basically randomly generate 5 numbers, and then we pick them out, and then we make sure obviously they're not been played out on a previous session. So I know people might get a little bit like, oh, my reel's not been chosen again, and apologies for that. That is just the nature of this. I hope you still learn a load on those sessions, though, that you can implement in your own reel. But we might do one of those marathon sessions again, where we just go, you know what, we will just play out as many as we can. Chris won't be able to go as in-depth as he does on these sessions. You know, we look at 5 reels in 2 hours, 2.5 hours, so it might be a bit of a rapid showreel surgery. Maybe we'll do that at some point this year. Lots of nice comments here about people who were there live. Thanks ever so much, folks, for those who tuned into that live. Hopefully you took away, you know, some things that you can go and edit in your reel. Lots of people are saying it just saves me buying a gift for Valentine's Day. It does, Samantha. I will not be buying anyone. It's self-love, innit, Nick? Self-love. I'll be buying myself a gift for Valentine's Day. That's what it's all about. And it's interesting seeing people's favourite toppings for the pancakes. We've got a live session tomorrow night, and we want a flipping good time. So hopefully you'll join us with your pancakes. Samantha's gone for maple syrup. Who was it who put Nutella down? I do like Nutella, Alex. I'll eat it out the jar, mate, to be honest with you, with a spoon, just on its own. Samantha's had a headshots done by Tony Blake. Got them through today. Lots to choose from. So Samantha, what in terms of reverse engineering your headshot choices, the easiest way to do it is to really start with what it is you want, basically, you know, to brand yourself as. You know, hopefully you had a bit of a gist of that before you went into the session. So if you know your day player types when you're starting out in the industry, the kind of roles you will get seen for, whether, you know, you're very sort of like, you would absolutely, Samantha, from what I can see in your little picture there and what I know of you, you know, businesswoman, GP, consultant, you know, educated, professional. They're the kind of roles that you would be getting, I imagine. Lawyer, barrister, solicitor, those kind of roles when you're starting out in TV. They'd be the, you know, the one episode roles in serial drama that many people start their careers in. They would be, for me, the kind of shots that I would expect to see on your spotlight. It doesn't mean that they have to be like, you know, straight-faced and serious. You know, you can still be a policewoman who is warm and friendly, you know, just with that authoritative kind of air about them. But yeah, I would have a think about what it is that you ultimately are going to be looking to be seen as in the industry, and you know, just make sure that your headshots and your reel are congruent with that, but equally authentic to you. So you don't want to be like acting in your headshots or playing a character in your headshots, because you're not going to walk into the room of a casting as that character that's in your headshot. You're going to walk in as you and talk and walk and move like you do. So it's just matching it all up and just, being very authentic and true to yourself. But Tony's brilliant. I love Tony to bits. I'm going to see Tony myself 6th of March, I think, to have my headshots done. If anyone wants to know about Tony's work, we've got a session in the members area with Tony Blake, one of the best headshot photographers in the country. There are obviously other headshot photographers, but Tony I really enjoy working with, because he's just so bloody patient, and he really knows what he's doing. He's up for experimenting. You can tell him what you want. He'll work with you. He doesn't just stand there and just press the button on the camera and just take pictures randomly. Like, he'll work together. And what I like about Tony, Samantha, I don't know if you notice this when you're working with him, if he puts you in a setup, because he likes working with natural daylight a lot of the time. Not it might be in a studio, but it won't be necessarily like with loads of lights and stuff around. Sometimes he does that. But when he's trying stuff out and he's experimenting, what I like about Tony is he'll maybe take a couple of shots, and if he knows it's not working, he won't flog a dead horse. He'll just go, nah, this ain't working. Let's change it up. So his shoots are really efficient. You generally get, that's the problem, innit? You get a lot of good options. Which is why going into it, knowing what it is you want to get out of it, will make that process of choosing those shots easier. Josh was on Showreel Surgery. Great tips once again. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate that, mate. That's all good. Tony makes you feel super comfortable, says Samantha, and yes to all you said. Yeah, and Samantha, what I wouldn't do, just a heads up, is don't post your 200 headshots from your contact sheets in a Facebook group of people who don't know you. It's really, you're going to get so many conflicting pieces of advice there. You really are the only person who authentically knows you in your heart. By all means, you can, if you whittle it down to 7 or 8 and you want to get it down to 4, then that's the time you would post and let other people, have some kind of input. But you'd never let, a Facebook group choose out of 200 shots, because people don't know you. They've no idea, anything about your authentic self and how you walk, talk, move. You can end up getting so many conflicting pieces of advice if you do that you're just like even more in analysis paralysis. So yeah, get it down to about 7 or 8, and then you can ask for feedback. You said you've whittled it down to 48. Just need to get rid of 40, Samantha, and you'll be absolutely fine. Awesome. Right, so I want to go over to the schedule on actonthis.tv. So let's move over to the website. I'll show you some stuff that's coming up. I've not fully updated this yet. But if you go to actonthis.tv/live, who's that there? Yvonne E. just bought a yearly premium membership. Nice one, Yvonne. Excellent. There you go. These are real, by the way. These things that you see down here in the bottom corner, that just for absolute transparency. It's not fake, that. I know it's got like just a blank image of a person there, but that is a real person who's actually made a transaction on the site to buy a membership. That's not fake. I know people might think, oh, that's just some fake stuff going on. Right, so tomorrow night, guys, which is, what is it? It's the 13th, Tuesday, the 13th of, what's the date? February. God, I don't know. I put March in a trailer this morning. 13th of February. We will be joined by BAFTA-winning director of some amazing shows. All Creatures Great and Small for Channel 5, Screw for Channel 4. He's done Ackley Bridge, Death in Paradise for the BBC, Blind Spot for Channel 5. Jordan is just an incredible director. He's going to be with us from 7:30pm tomorrow for at least an hour and a half, going through everything. Basically that he can help you with, getting on his casting radar for upcoming shows. He's always casting some amazing TV shows. Nailing auditions, nailing self-tapes, working through adversity. Jordan has cerebral palsy, and he has really faced adversity in his career as a director. But he likes to call himself like the Rocky of the directing world, because Rocky's like a huge inspiration in his life. He's even got, you'll see on his wall in his office, he's got like the quote of Rocky. I don't know which one it is, but I think it might be that, that sort of like, it's not about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you can get hit. And keep moving forward. That's what winning is done. That sort of stuff. But he's wicked. Like, if you've got any shit going on in your life, but you're like, oh God, like I'm really, really struggling to see the, any positives within this. Jordan is like, his mindset is fantastic. He's really quite inspiring, and he's really good at reframing stuff and just, hustling for opportunity. So that's happening tomorrow night. Then we've got next, when's that? Tuesday the 27th. Oh, we've got a podcast coming out next week. I don't want to spoil the surprise of that. So this is the week after next. I'm actually going to see Mike Gibson here, Olivier Award-winning Mike Gibson, in the new Stranger Things West End show. Obviously, it's written by the people who wrote Stranger Things for Netflix. Jack Thorne actually got involved in it as well to sort of like convert it to stage, help them make it into a stage thing. It's not a story of Stranger Things. It's set before the TV show, so it's not a retelling. It's brand new material. Mike is one of the lead cast in that. And then, so I'm going to see him on Friday, the Friday before this, whenever that is, the 24th or something like that. And then we're going to bring Mike on Tuesday the 27th for a chat all about, his career's amazing. He's one of the only actors I know who's absolutely crushed both theatre and TV. You find a lot of actors kind of, will lean towards one or the other. Mike does both all the time in massive shows. He was King George in the original West End cast of Hamilton. Absolutely crushed it. That's what he won his Olivier Award for. Done loads of TV. He's just brilliant. So Mike's coming back on. He's not been on the site for a couple of years. Talking all about the crossover. I think there's going to be lots more crossover between big shows like the Netflix shows, the Amazon Prime shows, and then stage. I think you're going to see a lot of this hybrid, kind of branding where, a big Netflix show will end up going, onto the West End or Broadway or something like that. Week after that, we have got, the 7th of March, Kevin Boyle, fantastic Coronation Street and Emmerdale director, directed an episode of Coronation Street. I really can't speak today. I've been up since 6:30. An episode of Coronation Street that I did that's coming out on the 26th in 14 days, 2 weeks tonight. Maybe we should watch it live. No, we can't watch it live because it's on earlier, isn't it, than 9 o'clock? But basically, I did an episode of Coronation Street. Kevin directed it. He's amazing. What we're going to do in that session is we're going to play my self-tape out. Kev's going to go through why I got the role. We're going to play the scene out that will have just come out, on the 26th. We'll play the actual scene out, compare it to the self-tape. Kevin will walk you through exactly how he shot it, how we did that, the blocking, the cameras, working on a serial drama like Coronation Street, which is multi-camera. It's not single camera. So what that's like, so if you ever get that opportunity, you're not like, oh, God, what's going on? Kev's just brilliant as well, how to get on his casting radar. And what I really like about Kevin's trajectory as a director, he started off as a camera operator for years and like decades as a camera op. So he really understands obviously both sides of the camera, but like as in shooting it and composition and all of the camera stuff you would need, as well as now directing the actors, so it's not just shooting the actors, it's directing them as well. So he really knows what he's doing. I just think it's going to be a fantastic session. So they're the next 3 sessions coming up, but there is going to be a podcast, like I say, that comes out next week that I'm going to record this week. I'm not going to spoil the guest. I think it's going to be really good, though. So there's loads going on. And then we've got Nikki Winterson coming on, for a great agent. The week after that, other guests include people like Natalie Grady, a great accent coach. We've never had an accent coach on before. I'm not going to spoil anymore, but booked in like 11 now, like absolutely, I'll say it again, banging guests. So it's going to be an incredible sort of 3 months, moving forward for Acts on This. There's never been a better time, as always, to join the party. actsonthis.tv/live. Go get your bloody membership. Alex says I've had too much Baileys. I have, mate. I had one shot of Baileys and I just cannot speak tonight. Nick says Mike was a few years below me at drama school. Everyone speaks well of him. No way was he there. That's wicked. I didn't know that. Were you there at the same time at all? Like, were you in third year when he was at first year or anything like that? Would he be aware of you? I'll bring you on camera, mate, if you know him. You can say hello. And Samantha says, I don't believe I ever sleep, the amount of work you do. Samantha, it is hard, to be honest with you. But like I say, I'm single. Got no distractions. I'm basically up at 6:30 in the morning, in the gym, get in front of my computer about 9:30, and I stand here tonight till probably about 11:30. So it's quite a long day, but it's all right, innit? Get to hang out with you lot, have a nice time, and all is generally good. Right, so that's Acts on This for a minute. We'll come back to that sort of stuff. Next thing I just want to talk about, what should we, there's loads of what to talk about tonight. I want to just say thanks to everybody who has signed up for Bulletproof Actor, Unstoppable Confidence, Infinite Success so far. This is a once-a-year high-performance, science-backed high-performance mindset coaching program that I bring out for actors in partnership with a great friend of mine, high-performance mindset coach and world record breaker, a guy called Mr. Matt Hall. He was on a Q&A with me this time last week. We did that last week for those people who tuned in. We run a flagship program between us. It's the most in-depth, it's the only one really in the world, but even if it wasn't, it's the most in-depth high-performance mindset coaching program and really just a confidence installation program for actors. It's really the only one on earth. If you go to bulletproofactor.com, you can check out basically what what it's all about. It's 16 hours of video. It's going to be 4 months of coaching if you get involved in this with me and Matt. Basically, the next kind of 16 weeks, you're going to get 4 months in a private Facebook group, 16 hours of pre-recorded video, 8 hours of live coaching that we're going to do. You also get 3 months in a WhatsApp accountability group where you'll get daily accountability to make sure you actually go through this program. But it's for any actor who struggles with self-confidence, who struggles with anxiety. Maybe you are the world's best procrastinator. You know you could be doing more and you should be doing more in your acting career, but you just don't know like why you're not, and you're just stuck. You're getting in your own way. Bulletproofactor.com. You can go and read all about it. Doors are going to be open for not too much longer. We can't, basically the 3-month cutoff where we start doing the coaching on March the 6th or something like that. We can't let anybody else in after that. So there's a couple of weeks really to get your place. There's over £1,000 worth of bonuses if you get your place on this time. You can see testimonials there on bulletproofactor.com as well from Oscar winner Rachel Shenson when she went through the program before she won an Oscar. There you are, Josh. Josh is here tonight. You can hear from other Acts on This members who went through the program last year. Josh has just filmed his second TV role. He's absolutely crushing it, but you'll hear from, like about another half a dozen actors on that testimonial that you'll see there. You can read all about what's included, the live calls, the Facebook group, the WhatsApp group, some interviews that Matt's done with some incredible people that you get as a bonus as well. And then there's the sign up at the bottom there. It's not the cheapest course in the world. I'm completely transparent with pricing. Literally, this took us about a year to create. It's 497 quid. You get to keep it for life, obviously, but you will get 4 months of live coaching along with this as well, or you can pay in installments. You can pay 3 installments of 197 for that. We've got around about just over half of the places have sold already. We only let 100 people in on this, by the way, a year. If 100 places don't sell, it doesn't matter. That's all we let in. We don't keep it open until we sell 100. This will go away in a couple of weeks. So this is literally your chance to get in on this year. It will be available again, but not until 2025. So bulletproofactor.com, go check that out. So that was something that I wanted to say. Just for those people who want a bit of free coaching as well, I left this up and I'll let you guys in on it because you're here, and you're here most weeks. Bulletproofactor.com/replay. Could someone put that in the chat for me? That'd be really useful, actually. Bulletproofactor.com/replay. There's an hour and a half of free coaching there if you want it. If you're like, I don't have 497 quid to spend on this, go and at least take this in. This could really, really help you this year. Bulletproofactor.com/replay. If you really want to dive in, I would obviously love to work with you. I appreciate not everybody might have those resources to do that. But I would love, me and Matt would love to personally work with you, through the main program. But if you just want to get some of this stuff for free or see what we're about before you do join the main program, bulletproofactor.com/replay. Thank you, Josh, for putting in the chat there. Go watch that. Not now. Don't leave me. I told you I'm already single. Don't make me even more. Don't make me even more single, folks. I need some company this evening. Right, so that's all about me. I'm going to leave that there for a little bit. Next thing I want to talk about, God, I mean, I'm sure you've all seen it. And normally I wouldn't get involved in drama in this industry because I'm just not about it, right? For me, you all know if you've been around Acts on this a while, I just like to get my head down. Honest to God, I swear I really mean this. I don't look at the competition. I don't really know what people are doing. I don't want to sound brutal, but I don't care. I hope everybody's doing great and doing well, but, other agents in the industry, I can't really care what they're doing, I can't be all over stuff and listen to stuff and getting involved in stuff. As Samantha said there, I've got so many things to do. I run actsonthis.tv, Bulletproof Actor, my own voiceover career, my acting career. I have a life. I try to have a life anyway. I'm super, super busy. My day is honestly absolutely rammed. So normally I don't get involved in any kind of drama at all, but you will have seen last Thursday, an article was released by Deadline I've got to say as well, these are allegations. I don't know if any of this stuff has been proven yet. I can't say on the record that this person is completely guilty and all this stuff has definitely taken place because I don't know. I really have no idea. There's a lot of people coming forward and saying they've been, involved in really what is a scandal. With an agency called Bodhi Talent and an agent in particular called Archie Purnell. And I will talk about this tonight just because I have had on actsonthis.tv over the last 5 years, Archie has actually been on Acts on This twice. I did an interview with him when he worked for an agency called Icon. Great agency and still very, very legit. Great agency in Manchester in 2019. So it's like 5 years ago when I did that first interview. When Archie left Icon, that interview came down from Acts on This, and he wasn't on. You know, I wasn't really following what he was doing, to be honest. And then what started happening, I started getting lots of messages from people in the community saying, you know, Archie set up this new agency, Bodhi. It had been established for, it must have been 12 months or so. And everybody was telling me how amazing he was. And you only need to look on Bodhi's Twitter, formerly Twitter, now X, their account. And you can probably still find these tweets if you literally just search on Twitter for Bodhi and just type the word like amazing or something like that. You would see, honestly, client after client after client after client, which is just like, oh my God, 5 self-tapes this month. You know, my agent's amazing, just got this job, that job, blah, 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 blah. It seemed on the face of it that everything, you know, Archie had set up his own agency, and everything was really above board and legit. So I asked Archie to come on again in 2021. So that was like a couple of years after he initially came on. So what's that now, like 3 years ago? And my God, if everything that is in that Deadline article is true, it's the most wild thing I think I honestly have ever witnessed in this industry in 25 years. I'll bring up the article now, and like I said, I'm not, you know, I don't want to be a gossip or anything like that. I'm not about that at all. But just because I had Archie on Acts on This, I feel, you know, I like to be super, super transparent with you guys. I've got absolutely nothing you know, to hide or shy away from this. I absolutely thought this guy was legit, but this article came out, fake tapes, lies and late payments, UK talent agent Archie Pennell accused of being rogue trader. Now, like I say, as a caveat, it says accused, and these are allegations. I don't, as far as I know, think anything has been proven, and I don't think anything's gone down any legal route or anything like that, but there are lots of people who are ex-clients of his, clients who were still clients of his until last week, coming forward with, honest to God, like horror stories. You know, I don't think anybody in life is completely squeaky clean and has, you know, always made fantastic decisions, myself included. You know, I can't say I'm an angel and I've never, ever made a bad call or made a decision that I regret, but some of this stuff is like next level, like madness. So if you want to read this, I'm not going to read it all out now. You can find out exactly, you know, what's, you know, gone down. There's accusations of him giving actors fake tapes. Petch, you know, producer Petch works for Acts on This, was repped by Archie. You know, Petch was my cameraman at the time. We're just a cameraman. He wasn't working for me properly when we did this first interview with Archie. And he was repped by him. I was helping Petch with self-tapes for Emmerdale, for loads of great shows, thinking, oh my God, he's brilliant. This guy's really, really good. He's really changing Petch's career. When you read all this, you're like, wow, okay, things probably weren't quite as they seemed. So if you just search for, I imagine if you just search for Bodhi's Talent Deadline, you can go and read this article on this. And then if you just go to Twitter, I mean, let's just see what's happening. My heart goes out to this guy in particular. I saw this Luke Anthony Jr. put a video out before where he'd taken headshots. You can go watch this if you just search Bodhi's Talent on X. Apparently, again, allegedly, he'd taken headshots for the children's side of Archie's agency, something called Luna Kids. And he'd done it for free, and Archie had told him that, you know, as his agent, he couldn't pay him, he's just going to help him, you know, with his career. And according to Luke here, Archie was charging £180 or something to the parents of these kids that Luke was taking pictures for. So if this is true, like I say, if it is true, I can't say it is or not. It's absolutely wild. It's like really crazy. But I just wanted to say, like, yeah, in terms of how I vet guests, just so that you guys who are members know, any agent that comes on Acts on This, and we've interviewed, I think in the last 14 years, I've probably had over 800 guests, probably getting on for 850 guests. Okay, and this is the first time anything like this has happened. But before I'll bring anybody on Acts on This, if it's an agent, what we normally do is, first of all, we bring on agents of people who we really know. So, for example, Nikki Winterson, who's coming on in a couple of weeks. Melissa Johns, great actress. You'll see her in Grantchester. I'm very good friends with her. Do a lot of work with her. That's Melissa's agent. Has been for a long time, many, many years. You know, and you know, I will go on agents' websites. I'll check out their clients, see what their clients are working on. Obviously, check out their social media and try and get as much info from clients and ex-clients. You can tell a lot from ex-clients as well. If an ex-client speaks really well of an agent, you know they're good, because they're an ex-client. They're not, they're not got anything to sort of hide. So that's what I normally do. And everybody that I spoke to about Archie was telling me, honestly, like the sun shone out of his behind. To give her a due, there was a woman called Mel who ran and still runs an acting school in the North, who actually wrote a blog post in 2019, I think. Not alleging any of this stuff. Like I say, this stuff is absolutely wild. But she did send this out to the industry, and she sent me a copy, and I read it. And there was absolutely, I mean, these were sort of allegations far milder than this sort of stuff. Just like, Archie was saying he'd got someone a job when it was actually a different agent that client was with before he was with Archie that got him the job. Just stuff that wasn't absolutely crazy. But there's no real hard evidence for it. So everyone that I spoke to, even after reading that blog, was like, no, he's great. And I spoke to all his clients, and I looked at all the stuff on X. There was nothing pointing towards any of this at all. But I genuinely feel like bad for anybody who watched that feature that I did with Archie. It's not been on the website for getting on for 2 years now. I think we took it down in 2022 when Petch left Bodie, because Petch didn't know about any of this stuff. He just wasn't getting work and just thought he needed a new agent. But yeah, anybody who went Archie's way or signed with him off the back of anything that I did, like, just so sorry. Like, honest to God, like, it's crazy that this guy has been so good at keeping this stuff, like keeping a lid on it, basically, and nobody kind of finding out, or nobody doing anything about it. Apparently, Spotlight had investigated. Mel, that woman I spoke about, had given Spotlight a heads up. Nothing had happened, but it just sort of like raises, a conversation, doesn't it, about how the industry avoids this sort of stuff moving forward. And that's what I wanted your opinions on tonight. Like, if anyone's got any ideas, because I don't know how, when someone's so good, I mean, the people are like Luke in his video there was like, I feel so stupid. It's like, you can't feel stupid, Luke, because it's like, I can't believe I didn't find out. You weren't supposed to find out, Luke. That's the thing. People like this, if it is true, you're not supposed to find out. That's the whole point. They're very, very good at this. I think I'm a really good judge of character as well. I don't think I get things wrong like this, but like clearly did. Anyone who met Archie is incredibly charismatic, and he talks a good talk. And that's the thing, that if this is all true as well, it's such a shame, because he was so capable, could have created an incredible impact positively, and still probably built a massive business without doing this stuff if he's done it, that's in this article. But regardless, in terms of, take Archie out of the equation, just interested in people's opinions on how we make the industry safer when it comes to vetting agents, because I don't know how you avoid this sort of stuff if people really are good at getting away with it. Like, I don't know how else to put it, really. Spotlight say they vet everyone, so he clearly passed the vetting process. But then, I don't know, like, what else can you possibly do? I mean, luckily, I think it's very, very rare, but I'll dive into the comments here and see what people are saying. But if you've not read that Deadline article, read it, because it's absolutely wild. And thanks to everyone saying that I shouldn't be apologising. It's just shocking, though, guys, honestly. And I wouldn't want anybody... you know how open I am about stuff. I just wouldn't want anybody thinking that I had any inkling of any of the stuff that was mentioned in this article and stuff that's coming out now. Even the stuff, like I say, that was in this blog that circulated the industry in 2018. It wasn't, I mean, it was nothing like this. This was just, it was kind of anecdotes and a bit of hearsay about where, he might not have been, he was a bit cutthroat as an agent, might not have been the most pleasant. But when you see 40, 50 people on Twitter all tweeting, oh my God, my agent's amazing, I love him to bits, just had an amazing call with him, just got all these self-tapes. You tend to lean towards the 50 people who are saying amazing things, as opposed to the one person who's saying, oh, you know what, yeah, watch out for him, he seems a bit dodgy. So it's crazy, isn't it? But I'm just like, I was just like, God, I hope, people from our community acts on this when I had him on, because it was a good interview. That's the thing. It was a really good interview, and he talked such a good talk. That was still a really valuable interview, regardless of whether you wanted rep off him or not, because the stuff that we covered in that applied to all agents. But it just blew my mind when this came out, and I'm like, just so wild. Nick, the sound's not gone for me. It's saying that my sound's fine. It says the sound gone for anybody. Refresh the page, Nick, but he won't hear me, will he, if his sound's gone? Alex says, what are you saying here? He also hasn't submitted his tax return. I noticed that, yeah, for Bodie since operating. He's never submitted a set of accounts, which is like, well, where is the money? And I noticed that some charities today, because one thing that I did have, like I say, I don't know if any of this is true. I'm not going to throw shade on anybody when I really don't know the situation. But one thing across the board that I don't like in this industry is overpriced workshops. And there was an arm of Archie's business that ran workshops that were really expensive. And I, without naming anybody, did sort of like bang on about this, going, I don't think this is right. These are like £60 workshops. There was a promise that money was going to charity. And I've seen on X today that some of the charities apparently have never heard of this person and have never received any money. I'm like, well, was that all fake as well? Like, it's really effed up if it was. It's absolutely crazy. But if anyone's been, like, I mean, it doesn't really matter if you've been directly affected by this or not in terms of the help that I will give people. Anyone who's looking for an agent, obviously I would just help everybody. That's why we bring on great agents. Why we had Lizzie on last week, why we've got Nikki coming up, why you'll find in the members area another 20-odd features with, fantastic agents that I will vouch for. But I did vouch for him at the time, so it's like, so that's what's so good. That makes you question everything. But I'm like, no, over 800 guests, we've never had this before. I genuinely believe in everyone else that we've had on. Alex says Melissa was on this morning. Was she? What was she on this morning about, Alex? Let us know, mate. Alex said he was skeptical of Archie when he saw him jumping agencies so many times within a few years. Yeah, he did work for a few different agencies. And then it was when he set his own up. I just thought he'd settled, mate. I thought, oh, okay, finally, okay. He's settled. He set his own thing up. And, I thought, well, from all of the evidence online that he was doing a really good job, but it's freaking crazy, isn't it? So, yeah. Nick says, wasn't Jordan Hogg or some director from Acts on This just about to do a workshop with Access? It was Jason Wingard, Nick. I presume Jason's not doing that workshop for Access Workshops now. I would imagine that isn't going ahead. I mean, that's the thing, and I mean that is something that we've got to be aware of. And I did initially when all this came out, I was like, hang on, whoa, like hold your horses. Like we do live in a country where, and I really believe in this, where people are innocent until proven guilty. I would never want people to just jump to conclusions. I think we are we're on the verge of being so sensitive to cancel culture that the second anything is said about anybody, people read a headline and people who've never even met somebody just go, yeah, that's definitely right. Then they must be that. And I think that's equally as dangerous. That's really, really bad. So at the start, I was a bit like, people need to be a bit careful with what they're saying online because libel's a real thing as well. Like, you can't call somebody a criminal online if you have no evidence that they're a criminal because that is that's genuinely a legal matter there. And Archie has, Spotlight have taken him off Spotlight. Effectively has completely, I would imagine, lost his entire livelihood and business and will probably, if this is true, never, ever be able to recover it. So people do need to be a little bit careful if they have no evidence because there are real material losses there that he could prove in a court of law. And if people, that would span many, many years. And if people have said this stuff and it isn't true and they have no evidence for it, that's a real issue. But I have seen so many people come forward over the last few days, like that Luke guy and stuff with real evidence around being owed money, which is kind of undeniable because he showed an email from the production company at ITV saying, yeah, we paid Bodie. And then he showed messages from Archie saying, oh, we've not been paid yet. So that's kind of undeniable evidence. So the more that it's gone on, the more wild it's got. At first I was like, people can't just jump to these conclusions, but it does look like just more wild and wild and wild and wild. It's crazy. So yeah, just interested in what people. What do you think could have been put in place that would have stopped this? Because I honestly struggle to think because everything on the outside seems super, super legit. So how would you know it wasn't without, I don't know, having some sort of like regular, I don't know, check-in on a Spotlight equity kind of level with the agency going and auditing them. But there's too many agents to be able to do that. It's crazy. Andrew says, apparently he's folding in March and we're still taking clients on last week. I was skeptical that Stella went, and then Bodhi came so quickly afterwards. The casting director told me he was unethical and that I should sign to him to get credits and then leave. I didn't want to start my career with anyone unethical. No, you don't want that, Andrea, definitely. It's just bloody crazy, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. So Icon wasn't his agency, Di. No, Icon are legit and a really lovely agency in Manchester. So Rhys McDonough, he's one of the agents at Icon. We've had him on Acts on this. You'll find an interview with him in the members area. That's the problem, isn't it? When someone does something like this, if it all turns out true, everyone kind of gets tarnished. And I've had people, honestly, I've had people, a few angry people, and I get it. I'm really empathetic to it. You know, like include me in tweets going, I can't believe Acts on this gave him a platform and they should have known. I mean, I'd love to sit down with those people and go, how should I have known? Like, genuinely, just how should I have known? You know, when literally dozens and dozens and dozens of people every single day are putting messages out on social media saying how amazing he is, how they love him, how they're so lucky to be signed by him. And equally, the official Bodhi account is putting out message after message of this person's just got this job, this person's just got this job, and they're all in great, great things. He's doing workshops with really bona fide, legit people. That's what I mean. How can you possibly know what's going on? I understand their frustration, but there's no way on earth I would have had any idea. And, you know, one of my best mates, Petch, was signed with them. My ex-girlfriend was signed with them. You know, like, why would I have someone Acts on this who was not legit and then allow the closest people in my life to sign with them? It doesn't make any sense at all. It's completely backwards. But Icon is a completely separate entity, Di. Thankfully, that's nothing to do with him. But yeah, it's crazy. Di says, I've heard people saying all actors should be able to see their subs on Spotlight to prove they were real. Yeah, that's good. So you can do that. Tagmin has a function. Spotlight bought Tagmin, so they own that software now. For those people who don't know, Tagmin is a bit of a agent's organizational tool for running an agency. You can upload self-tapes to it. You can organize stuff. You can have your clients' calendars on it and all that sort of stuff so you know their availability. And you can activate in the back end of Tagmin an option that allows your clients to see what they've been submitted for on Spotlight, because there are allegations here that Archie was was just telling people they'd been submitted for stuff and giving them self-tapes for things that maybe one of his clients had been asked to tape for, but he was giving that tape to half a dozen to make them feel they were in the running. Again, allegations. I've got no evidence of that. But that's what's in that Deadline article. So yeah, if you allowed people to see what they were being subbed for on Spotlight, they would know it was legit and they had been subbed for it, and thus they had been asked to tape. You could follow good ideas, Di. Didn't you have an idea a couple of weeks ago on one of these? That what was it over? I can't remember, but I remember as well. Was it Spotlight? Was it you who said that we should pay those who aren't represented should pay less fees because they don't get access to the briefs that agents get? And I think to help them get established, that's a good point. If that was you, Di, well done. You've got lots of good ideas every single week. Definitely. Let's have a look. Kankei says, I'm now able to access subs on Tagmin. I think it's a new layer of reassurance for actors. I think they're 24 hours behind. I think you can see the day before subs today. So today on a Monday, you'd be able to see what you were subbed for on Friday. Or maybe over the weekend if people were subbing over the weekend. But yeah, Nat says, thank God I'm in a co-op. We can see everything. That's good, Nat. Yeah, you'll know what's legit there. But you are right, Di. Not every agent has Tagmin, you know. So it would be something that Spotlight would maybe have to roll out as part of a agent's Spotlight subscription, because Spotlight owns Tagmin as far as I know. You know, they're all part of the same company now. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure how they charge for that, but that would be pretty good if they could let everyone have it. Let's have a look. Someone says, surely that's breaking NDAs. Yeah, I mean, it's breaking everything. You know, giving clients tapes to do that weren't asked for by the casting director. Yeah, it could potentially be breaking an NDA, but he probably made the client sign an NDA anyway to make it feel really legit. But then just never submitted the tapes. Or maybe he did. Maybe some of the tapes he did submit on the off chance that, you know, throwing someone in the mix, they got it as well. But there were, in that Deadline article, again, accusations of people tweeting to say, oh, it's been really quiet, I've not had any tapes, and then miraculously they'd get a tape. But then there was mentions of, in that article, you know, other agents, well, actors who got those tapes, checking with friends' agents to see if those briefs were still open, and them saying, no, that brief's closed now. They're not accepting any more tapes. So, again, I don't know what's true. I literally don't know what's true and what isn't, but I just thought it was an interesting sort of discussion, isn't it? And, there's an awful lot of discussion about it on X, formerly Twitter. Not normally want to gossip, but I just think it's pretty, I'm kind of involved because he was a previous guest on Acts on This, and that doesn't make me feel very good. So yeah, I'm keeping an eye on it. It's all a little bit crazy. Indy says, I've just signed with an agent, but before I joined them, I did the whole vetting on them. Well, there you go. I mean, the thing is, though, that's the thing, Indy. I think if anybody had vetted Bodhi, they'd have just come to the conclusion that it's legit, and like we all did. This was like the perfect storm for creating an air of legitimacy and a real, veneer facade, whatever you want to call it, where everything from the outside looked so freaking amazing. So I don't think if any amount of vetting in the world would have done any good, to be honest, when someone's so good. That's why it's such a shame, because there was so much potential for that agency to be really, really good. It's just crazy. The way that it's gone. So that's that. That was a little bit of scandal I wanted to talk about. Now I want to talk a little bit about Actors Pro Expo, because it's creeping up on us. It's a big expo that's happening in London on Saturday, is it 24th? 24th? It's just not even 2 weeks, is it now? Would be 2 weeks just on the Saturday, just gone. Saturday the 24th, I'm going to be exhibiting Acts on This there. If you are going, let us know in the chat. Would be amazing to meet you. There's so many people that I know like digitally and, in the community on actsonthis.tv. Never met you in person. Would be lovely to actually meet you, have a brew. I'm going to be there, try to get as many actors signed up to Acts on This as possible and tell them about what we do. If anybody is hanging around and wants to just help us tell actors how great Acts on This is, that's amazing as well. Nick, I think you're joining us, aren't you? I think Pet said today you were going to get involved. I think you've got something going on, but I'll gladly give you a T-shirt, Nick, and you can put it on and tell people to sign up to Acts on This. I'm also going to be hosting a seminar with Daniel Edwards there as well. I think that's available for ticket holders who have something called a class pass. Again, full transparency, I don't get paid for that. Neither does Daniel. I think we get a donation to a animal charity or something like that. That's not something that I have any input in terms of tickets and charging stuff like that. I don't get paid a single thing. This event just costs me money. I like to be transparent and upfront with people, but I am going to be hosting a session with Daniel Edwards. To be honest, there's probably not going to be much we're going to talk about in that session that's not in the podcast with Daniel, that's on actsonthis.tv. So if you're already a member, there's a 2.5 hour podcast with Daniel Edwards in the members area. One of the best podcasts I have ever produced. We dive into life as well, not just the industry. Daniel talks about a 17-year struggle with addiction. He's now 17 years sober. But how he turned his life around, he really turned that adversity into advantage. Now he's an Emmy-winning casting director, one of the biggest in the game, an incredibly lovely person as well, really good friend. Like, he's a top bloke, Daniel, and really looks out for talent in the industry as well. Likes to champion people who are good and might not have loads of opportunity necessarily. He likes to try and be that person who gives it them. So we're going to be there doing that. It's just going to be a great day, really. And if anybody, I think it finishes at I think it might finish at 5, but I think we're told we have to start packing up before that. So we'll probably be out pretty spot on, just after 5-ish, maybe R5 latest. Me and Petch aren't staying in London that night on the Saturday. We are staying on the Friday. That's when we're going to go and watch Mike Gibson in Stranger Things. But we probably will have time. It'd only be quick if we could get away. If people want to come and join us, and maybe we get a Nando's somewhere or a bit of food or something like that. So if you guys are going to be there and you're going to be there at the end, that'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? We could go and just grab, I don't know anything, a burger somewhere. Petch is vegan, so wherever we can go where he can get something. That'd be pretty cool if people are up for that. But it would be nice to meet people. Let's have a look, see what else is going down in the comments. So Nick's going to be at the expo. Caroline is going. Caroline, do you want to put a T-shirt on and come and help us round up some people for Acts on This? If you do, let me know your size and I'll order you one. That's fine. Nick's going to be there. The more the merrier. I'll give you all T-shirts. Get them on. Let's get some people signed up to the community. Joe's going to look into it. Joe, if you're going to be there, say hello. Definitely let us know. Did we find out about the extra cost? What are you talking about, Faye? What is that? Oh yeah, you're talking about the tickets, aren't you? That is it, unfortunately. Yeah. So I didn't know this. Again, for transparency, when I said I would do this, and Daniel said he'd do this, we didn't know that our seminar would only be accessible to people who buy a certain level of ticket. We don't get any say over it at all. And again, I've got to be honest, I'm not a massive fan of doing that, because in Manchester, when I did a seminar with Peter Hunt, people could just pay a tenner and come and see it. They didn't have to buy a pass for many other seminars. I think it's not that it's not good value. If you get a class pass, you get access to loads of seminars, but you just might not want to do those other seminars. But unfortunately, that's the only way some seminars are like lumped into that class pass. Not my idea, didn't know about it. But that's just the way that it's gone this time. But if you just want to come and see me and Daniel, don't spend the money on, I think it's about £50 or something. Listen to the podcast in the members area. And I'm also going to get Daniel on Acts on this again later this year as part of your membership. Just wait. I don't want anybody spending extreme amounts of money to come and see me speak or something, when I'll just, if you're a member of Acts on this, I'll jump on a call with you on Rapid Fire Friday and we can chat about stuff, and you can listen to stuff with Daniel. It's a lot of money to spend if you only want to come and see one seminar. So I don't want people to do that, really, if I'm honest. Keep that money, put it into something in your acting career that's, not just me and Daniel having it's just going to be banter, really, and we're going to talk about how he finds new people and new faces, but he talks about all of that in the podcast. If you do want to go and see all the other seminars, then it's really good value probably getting that class pass, because you get everything included in it, I think. But not for one seminar. Don't do that. Just come and hang out with us on the stall. It's all good. Let's have a look. Cordelia forgot the seminar was the expo was coming up. Get on it, Cordelia, if you can. No stress if not. Just nice to see everybody again. Let's have a look. So I think that's everything answered there. But yeah, I didn't know about that ticket thing. I don't know if I'd have agreed to it, if I'm honest, if I knew that. I'd like Actors Pro Expo. The Manchester event was good fun and stuff, but I like to give actors a bit more choice of just, if I was running something, I might run something. I'm never going to run an expo. That's just way too much. But I might do some in-person events this year. I might just do my first one this year, and we'll do it, in a day. It'll probably be like a day event, maybe 6 hours or so, and I'll try and bring some industry people in person. We'll do live Q&As. It won't be an acting thing where you get up to act. I'm never going to run acting classes. It's definitely not my thing. I just love the business side of things and just connecting people and bringing people together and, being that bridge between casting directors and actors and directors and actors and all that sort of stuff. So I might do some sort of panel event and stuff like that, So I like it when they call it a fireside chat. Get 3 people up on a stage, 3 mics in front of an open fire, although there's probably not going to be an open fire anywhere. Have a brew and just have a really open, honest chat, and then we can pass the mic around the audience. People can ask questions. We'll try and make it, really cool, and it's just as value-led as possible. I wouldn't charge loads of money for that. It would be limited, though, because I think venues, I don't know, if we did it at something like 53.2, I think they might only be able to hold like 100 people or something like that. I don't know what the audience is in 53.2 in Manchester, the theatre. We'd probably hold it somewhere like that, because that's nice and accessible and independent. We'd probably get a good price on the venue. But yeah, I'll probably do something in person this year, which would be good. Samantha says, love a fireside chat. It's good, isn't it? I do. I love it. That's why I love podcasting. I just love deep chats with people, where you really get to know somebody and you get, in like a chilled out environment. And it just empowers actors to go, oh, okay, that person's human. I can reach out to them. I can send them my stuff. I can, say hello to them, in the bar afterwards or something. It is nice, definitely. Right, let's have a look. Alex says, Ross, can I ask you a membership question? The payment tried to come out of my account, but I forgot to transfer money into it, and so it declined. Will it automatically attempt to take the money again since I've got my money in my account? And will it affect my membership? Alex says, yeah, Alex, you're banned. If your payments fail, get out. Get out. It's over. No, what happens, people, if you are a member of ActsOnThis.tv, obviously, it's a rolling subscription, so you pay monthly until you cancel, or you pay yearly until you cancel. If you ever want to cancel, you just have to email help@actsonthis.tv, and I will do it instantly for you. I'll make it very, very easy. Just drop me an email. It's no problem whatsoever. Obviously, I want you to stay, but if you can't, then you can't. That's fine. But if your membership fails in terms of a payment fails, what happen, Alex, is the system's very clever. I don't do anything to this; just happens automatically. It will try your card again 4 times over a period, I think, of 7 days. It chooses when it tries. It's some AI, mate. I don't know. It looks at people's banks and figures out when money's going in and when the best time is to try it again. If it fails 4 times, it will cancel your membership automatically. Now, one thing I will say here, because this is out of my control and this is a bit of a warning to people, if you're on a previous membership rate, so over the years, prices have gone up on Acts on this, the membership's increased in price slightly over the years, I try and reward people for their loyalty. So if you got in 5 years ago when the membership was cheaper than it is now, and your membership's still active, you'll still be on the price you signed up for 5 years ago. It's called grandfathering in. That's a weird term in the online space, but you get grandfathered in at this price. The price you pay on day one when you sign up is the price you will always pay. I will never put the price up for you, even when the price goes up for people who haven't joined up yet. Now, if your membership cancels, unfortunately, if you're on an older rate, I can't get that back for you because it's not on the system anymore. So you have to make sure, if anyone's got any billing issues or you're worried about it, please reach out to me. Like the second you get an email saying, "Oh, your membership fee's not gone through," because at that point I can hold on to it for you. But if it failed 4 times, Alice, and you didn't let me know, a bit screwed there. So please let me know, basically. But if the money's in the account, Alex, if you want, I'll try it again once I've finished this live tonight, mate, and I'll make sure it goes through for you. Let me know if you would like me to do that in the chat. Just give me permission to do that now, and I will try and put your card through manually when we get off this. He says it won't fail 4 times. So that's reassuring. The only caveat there is PayPal. If you pay via PayPal, I think it only has to fail twice. PayPal's rules are different, and I can't change that. So just be careful. If you're on a bargain membership, I want you to keep that because you've been loyal. But I also, I'm limited a little bit as well. Let's have a look. Any more? I think I've got through all the comments, but let me see what else is on the list of chatting. Last thing, I was just going to play out some testimonials for Bulletproof Actor. Again, I'm pushing this program because we only launch it once a year. Every single year that I close the doors to this program, people email me saying, "Oh, I missed the deadline. Can I get in?" Unfortunately, no, because there's live coaching involved in this as well. So bulletproofactor.com, if you want to learn about this program, it's the only high-performance mindset coaching program for actors on earth. If it wasn't, it's still the best one. It's 16 hours of live, of pre-recorded content you get access to instantly. So 16 hours of video coaching, pre-recorded, you get access to instantly. 8 hours of upcoming live calls that we've not started yet. 4 months in a private Facebook group. 3 months in a private WhatsApp group that Matt is running for accountability to make sure you are putting this stuff into action. So it's going to be an incredible 4 months you can spend with us, basically. Bulletproofactor.com. If you want to get a place on this. And just thanks to everyone who's already signed up. But those people who helped me create this program last year, we took a test group of actors through it a year ago, literally almost a year ago to the day. A year ago to the year. A year ago. I've got some testimonials that I think I played these out a couple of weeks ago, but I want to play them again because I think it really speaks volumes for the program and how effective it is. If you are sick and tired of feeling sick and tired, if you want to be way more productive this year than you've ever been, if you want to really get an emotional connection with why you're actually here, why you're doing this, why you're pursuing this crazy career, if you want to push through that procrastination, crush anxiety, really walk into an audition room or a self-tape knowing that you've got everything inside you to really smash this, as opposed to just doubting yourself because you're so riddled with limiting beliefs. If you want to annihilate any limiting beliefs that are holding you back in all areas of your life as well, everything we coach in this program affects every area of your life. If you want happier, healthier, wealthier relationships, finances, health, we cover sleep, we cover nutrition, we cover fitness, side hustles if you want to earn more money. It's sort of like everything in one program to do with really pushing yourself forward and getting out of your own way. I'd love to work with you, Matt. I'd love to work with you. The whole group would love to work with you because you're going to be working with other students who are already in this program. Bulletproofactor.com to check it out. And I'm going to finish by just playing a little testimonial video out, but I will just dive into the comments one last time. Let's have a look. Any more? Someone's grandfathered into Mandy.com when it used to be called Casting Call Pro. Yeah, I remember Casting Call Pro, man, before Mandy bought it up. If they do that and you've got a really cheap membership, that's good. But yeah, it's been going a long time. When it was Casting Call Pro, I used to hang out on the Casting Call Pro forums before I even made Act on This. I was like, hang on a minute, I can do this better. I'm going to create Act on This. And now look, miles better than Casting Call Pro. Yeah, I think I'm good. I think I've covered everything in the comments. Amazing. So keep us posted how you're doing. I really hope to see you on the live call with Jordan Hogg tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. I think we're going to have a little cameo from Erin Shanahan, great actress as well. Jordan and Erin were tweeting each other today, and I was like, Erin, come and have a little cameo. Erin did a session with us 2 years ago, Stars in the Bay. Lots of other TV shows as well. Erin's great, but I think Erin might jump on for a second because she likes Jordan and wants to be reunited. They've worked together before, but we're going to have a really good chat tomorrow night. Bring your pancakes, bring your maple syrup, bring your Nutella, whatever, sugar and lemon, banana, I don't know, whatever you have on your pancakes, bring them. I want to hang out with you. If you can't make it live, we will be uploading the replay of that to the members area on Wednesday. And then I'm going to be recording a podcast for you guys this week that's going to go out next week. So we won't have a live call next week because we'll be getting ready for Actors Pro Expo, but we will have an incredible podcast for you guys as well. So I'm going to play these testimonials out. This is a test group of actors who went through this program with us last year, bulletproofactor.com. Go get your place. And here's the impact that it had on them. Love to you all. Have an amazing week, and I'll catch up with you soon. Until next time, bye for now.
Before I did Bulletproof Actor, my mindset was not in a good place in relation to my self-belief as an actor. I felt like a complete imposter even calling myself an actor. I just felt like I wasn't good enough to be successful and that I was basically too old.
So I just thought, what's the point? I've got no effort, no passion, no energy. It just didn't seem like there was anything I could do, and I was just resigned to this kind of world I've put myself in.
I've been operating from a place of fear and comparison and anger.
I had a lot of, confidence issues surrounding my acting, limiting beliefs, which I don't think I realised just the extent of how many limiting beliefs I actually had.
I was stuck in the mud and I felt like I wasn't moving.
I probably felt I wasn't good enough and not ready.
I felt very down, and it was just literally a domino effect, and it wasn't a great place to be.
My mindset has got so much better. I literally just think, just go for it. Don't even give yourself that time to self-doubt, to talk yourself out of it, to talk yourself down. Just literally, if you've got an idea, put pen to paper. If you want to contact someone, network, just do it.
I'm currently prepping for my second TV job, which is my biggest job, I'd like to say, yet, because it's bigger. It's from a show I've loved watching and growing up, and I've always wanted to be on the show. And I think without Bulletproof Actor, I wouldn't have had the strength and the knowledge and the confidence and the energy and eagerness to push myself to these directors and casting directors and get myself out there more and have the confidence to go, this is what I want, and ask for it.
I've got the confidence. I feel unstoppable. I left my 60+ hour week job to create my own business.
I just think, if not me, then who?
I grabbed it with my both hands. I completed Bulletproof Actor weekend, and it was the best thing that could have happened.
My biggest light bulb moment in the programme was about shifting my focus from the outcomes, which are totally not within my control, to the outputs, which I can control.
So one of my biggest takeaways was to look at limiting self-beliefs.
And I was listening on my limiting beliefs, and I didn't have any evidence to back them up. And I was going through all my positive beliefs, and I had loads of evidence to back them up. And that was a switch for me going, I'm putting myself down all the time.
When a situation happens to you, it's like how you choose to respond, and it's fine and you're valid to have those feelings, but you just go through these questions and really get clarity on the situation. And again, that extends to all avenues in your life, relationships, friendships, work, other jobs. It's really good.
If someone asks me, Jen, what do you do? I'm an actor. I have the confidence. I believe it. I know it. And I'm not afraid to say it anymore.
I knew that Ross and Matt Hall were very experienced in terms of high performance mindset. So I thought, you know what, it's a no-brainer. Let me just sign up because I'm sure that I'm going to get a lot out of this course, and it really did not disappoint in any way.
I believed in what Ross was doing and what he said. His passion sparked my passion, and I wanted to do it because he's helped me before, and he's definitely helped me again.
I thought, you know what, this is the perfect time to do it. And it was near enough going into the new year at the time, and I thought, yeah, I'm going to start the new year strong. I'm going to finish it strong.
The kind of reason that I did it was because of knowing and liking the 3 people that were running the course. And yeah, it proved to be very successful.
The thing I liked most about the program was how in depth we went and how scientific it was. And one thing that stood out to me in particular was the 7 levels deep, which got you to really focus on why you want what you want and why you're doing what you're doing.
The experience of listening to a member of the course go through that process, it was demonstrated in a session live, and it had such a massive impact on me. I will never ever forget it.
It wasn't just let's think positive and then positivity is going to happen. It was let's look at the science about why we do this and what will happen because of that, and that's what I really enjoyed about the course.
The thing I love most about the programme was the success cycle. Anytime I feel overwhelmed, even today, I go back to the success cycle and I look at each section and see where I'm lacking.
The workbook was great because it meant we could do the workbook at the time, but also go back to it.
On top of it, changing my entire career for the better and the way I think about my career, it's huge. But I think having the community was top notch.
You might be thinking, oh, it's a lot of money, or I don't know. But really and truly, you're investing in yourself, in your career, in your mindset.
It's about your life. Like, I'm so much happier out of the acting industry as much as I am in it at the minute. It's great. So ask yourself, do I want to be happier? If the answer is yes, what are you waiting for?
As I mentioned before, they use science-based techniques. You can't argue with science.
Definitely do it. It's so worth it. You will not regret it.
It got me my career back. And it helped me so much personally as well that there's no need to be on the fence.